Stop everything you're doing right now. Do not keep scrolling. Do not try to ignore what your spirit already recognized the second this voice started speaking. There is a reason you are hearing this at this exact moment, and it is not a coincidence. I am not here to offer you something fleeting or to ask you to waste time on trivialities. I am here because there is a call you have been putting off, a door that is about to close, and an instruction you need to receive before time runs out. The message I bring today is urgent and it is personal. I know what you have been carrying in silence. I know about the nights when you stare at the ceiling and wonder if there is anyone who truly understands the weight of your days. I know that you have been noticing signs around you, things no one else seems to notice, and that you have been feeling a tiredness that is not of the body, but of the soul. What you feel is not a mistake, nor is it a punishment. It is the sign that you have been awakened to something greater. Before we proceed, I need you to confirm that you are ready for what comes next. If you feel that this word reached you exactly when you most needed direction, and if you are willing to hear the full truth, type in the comments the number 777. That is the number of spiritual confirmation. Your fingers typing it now are your spirit saying that you accept the delivery. Type 777 and come back to me. You are still with me? Good. What you are feeling now, that chill, that tightness in your chest, that sensation that someone finally sees you, is the result of a flame that has always been there but was covered by layers of ashes. For years you learned to live as if you needed nothing, as if you could solve every storm with your own hands. But the truth is that your effort, though admirable, has taken you to places where you do not belong. The metaphor is clear. You are a live ember that, due to circumstances, found itself buried under cold ashes. Those ashes are your fears, others' expectations, the failures you insist on holding in memory, and the guilt you should not carry. The ember did not stop being fire. It was just hidden by the dust of daily life. But today, the wind from above has blown attention.
Do you feel like you're carrying an invisible weight? Your mind tired, your heart tight, anxious about tomorrow? That anguish, that fear of the future, the isolation. It seems like you're alone in this struggle, without hope. But deep down, you long for peace, for a new way of living, lighter and with unshakable faith. That's why I present The Path to Inner Peace, your daily guide to finding calm, faith, and courage. It's a 30-day journey, a daily devotional for a lighter, more confident, and purposeful life. And this transformation is already a reality for hundreds, as you see. Your story begins now. Secure your access now. Click the first pinned link in the comments.
Over those ashes, can you see it? That light trying to shine beneath what weighs you down, that desire to start over that you hid even from yourself? If this image of the ember touching your inner self makes sense to you, if you understand that the time has come to blow those ashes away and let your true essence appear, type the phrase, "I see it." Writing these words seals within you what has just been touched. Type, "I see it," and come back to me. It is no coincidence that you feel isolated. The path of truth is lonely at the beginning, precisely because it separates you from what no longer serves you. You have been trying to fit into places that have no room for your magnitude, and that is why you feel so tired. You're not tired of living, you're tired of hiding. But understand, all this fatigue, this insomnia that visits you in the early morning hours, this desire to drop everything and run into the unknown, all of it is an invitation. It is an invitation to unlearn what you were taught about being strong. True strength is not bearing everything in silence. True strength is knowing when the door is about to change direction. I am here to tell you that the time of resistance is over. The cycle of empty effort is being interrupted now. I see that you have dedicated yourself to causes that give you nothing back, to people who do not know the depth of what you offer, but that is going to change. There is a protection you have ignored because you have been too busy trying to survive. If you feel that, despite all attempts to bring you down, you're still standing, and if you believe that this protection is what will take you to the next level, declare it now. Type in the comments, "Nothing can touch me." It is not just a phrase, it is a decree of alignment with what the higher has already determined for your life. Type it and come back to me. I know that many times you have felt like a number, a replaceable cog in others' machinery. But to heaven, you are not a name among many. You are someone whose name was written before the world was formed. I want you now to place yourself in a position of being seen. What I'm going to ask you now is not a formality. It is an act of presence before the one who created you. You have been living in the shadows, but today you will step out. Write your first name in the comments. Do not do it like filling out a form. Do it like one presenting themselves before the king, like saying, "I am here and I am ready to be called." By writing your name, you are leaving anonymity behind and taking your place in the lineage of those who do not bow to fear. Write your name and come back to me. Stop everything you are doing right now. Do not keep scrolling, because what I am about to reveal to you is not a coincidence. It is an encounter. There is something you need to understand before time runs out, for there is an urgency in the air that few can perceive, but you, who have always felt that life carries a different weight, know that something has changed. This message is your last call before certain doors close permanently. You have been feeling signs, haven't you? That insomnia that wakes you at 3 in the morning for no apparent reason, a tiredness that even deep sleep cannot heal, and a constant feeling that no matter how hard you try, it feels like running in a maze where exits disappear when you approach them. If at least one of these signs touch the depth of your soul, if your shoulders drop now as you read these words, type in the comments the number 777. It is the number of spiritual confirmation. Your fingers typing it are your spirit saying yes to what is coming. Now look inside yourself honestly. You are like a live ember that was hidden under heavy ashes. The world covered you with the dust of disappointments, with the expectations others placed on you, and with the need to appear strong when all you wanted was to fall apart. But if you look closely, if you push away those layers of ash, you will see that the flame still burns. It never went out. If this image of the hidden flame clicked in a place in your chest that you cannot even explain, type the phrase, "I see it." Writing these words seals within you the truth that has just been touched. You were not born to live under the weight of what others expect. You were born to shine. But for that, we need to talk about what you carry in silence. I know about the nights when you wondered if it was even worth continuing to try. I saw the tears you shed in silence, far from everyone, while you smiled at the world pretending everything was fine. You became the pillar for so many people that you forgot that a pillar, if not cared for, eventually gives way. You are a person of giving, but today heaven asks you to stop giving yourself to what does not deserve your energy. There is a turnaround happening. The door that seemed closed is not an end, it is a deliverance. What you call loss, I call cleansing. If you feel that something tried to bring you down and did not succeed, if you know that there is a greater force that has kept your heart beating despite everything, declare it now. Type in the comments, "Nothing can touch me." It is not just a phrase, it is a decree of protection against everything that has tried to steal your peace. Type it and come back to me. Feel how this truth begins to warm your being. You are not here by chance, and the difficulties you faced were not meant to destroy you, but to forge in you a resilience that few possess. Now, I need to call you by name, but since the sacred respects your will, Only you can tell me what it is, not like one signing up for something fleeting, but like one placing their own name before heaven to be seen, recognized, and called. When you type your name, you are saying, "Here I am, ready to be what I was destined to be." Feel the tenderness with which this call is made, as if each letter you type is the beginning of a new chapter where you finally no longer need to hide or ask permission to exist. You are seen, you are known, and your waiting time is coming to an end. What was broken begins to be restored, and what was lost finds its way home within you. If you feel that hope is being reborn with strength, type yes in the comments right now and come back to me. Do not leave anything for later, for the moment to take a stand is now. Are you still with me? Feel this presence that envelops you, that welcomes you, and that assures you that from this moment on, your effort will not be in vain. You are in the right place, at the right time, and what you asked for in secret is about to become your reality. Stop right now, because what is happening in the invisible cannot be ignored by those who seek true peace. You have been feeling this weight on your shoulders, this fatigue that is not explained by work or by hours of wakefulness, but by the accumulation of things you carry without ever having shared with anyone. There is a force, an energy that has been trying to hold you back, planting doubts where there should be clarity and fear where there should be trust. But listen carefully to what I tell you. This attempt to stop you is, in fact, a clear sign that you are on the right path. The enemy only attacks what is valuable, and you, my child, are extremely valuable. If you feel deep in your chest that this tiredness is reaching its limit and that you need renewed direction, type now the number 999. That is the number of your spiritual liberation and rebalancing. Type 999 and come back to me, for we still have much to cover before time runs out. You are not alone on this journey. There is a flame lit inside you, an essence that, although almost extinguished by the ashes of disappointments and broken promises, never died. It is this flame that keeps you standing when everything around you seems to crumble. The door that has seemed closed to you is not blocked by lack of merit, but by a greater preparation happening now, on the other side, where you cannot reach. What you lived through was a desert of learning, not a dead end. If you can visualize this flame shining again with intensity, like a lighthouse in the midst of your darkness, type below the phrase, "I see it." By typing, you are not just writing words, you are confirming your awakening before everything that was hidden. Type "I see it" and come back to me, for the connection between what you feel and what will be revealed now is unbreakable. Now think of that person whose face appeared in your mind as we spoke, that someone who, like you, carries a kindness that no one values, who silently strives to keep the family together, or who is going through a deep phase of doubt about their own worth. The face that appeared is not a product of your imagination. That person is waiting for a word of hope, and you were chosen as the channel to bring this message to them. Do not keep what brought you life to yourself. Send this video to that person now, so that they too may be reached by the comfort and strength you are receiving at this very moment. It is an act of love and giving, and by doing so, you open the flow of protection over your own life even more. When you act in favor of another, you validate your purpose. If you understand that this gesture of care is a decree of unity, type yes in the comments now and come back to me to seal what remains. Your like here is not just an interaction. It is your amen without words. It is the seal that you agree with the truth being released and that you take your rightful place in this story. Everyone who touches the screen in this way is saying that they understand the gravity and beauty of this call. And now, nearing the most important moment of this entire experience, prepare your spirit for the final declaration. Take a deep breath, release the weight from your shoulders, and prepare to assume who you truly are. Type slowly, with the conviction of one who has finally found their destiny, the phrase, "I am the chosen one." It is not a wish, it is not a hope, it is your confirmation. It is you acknowledging before the higher your true place. Do not keep scrolling. Do not look for another distraction. Do not ignore what I am about to tell you. There is a sovereign reason this voice reached you at this moment, a point of intersection between what you have been asking for in secret and the opportunity that the higher is placing before your eyes. I am not here to offer you empty comfort, but to give you a necessary warning about the cycle that is about to end. You feel it, don't you? That inexplicable tightness, that sense that something very important is passing before you, and that, if not grasped now, could be lost forever. The time for hesitation is over. What you carry, this anguish of one who feels that life is stuck in a gear that does not turn, has a hidden explanation. You did not get here by coincidence. I saw your steps. I saw your sleepless nights. I saw when you cried where no one could hear. I saw the burden you sustain as if it were a solitary mission. You are on the edge of a door that is closing, and today's message is the definitive sign that you have been chosen to cross to the other side before the mechanism locks. There is a series of events you have observed that are not just coincidences. That urge to isolate yourself from people who were once close, the feeling that the environment around you has become heavy, the repetitive signs that appear when you least expect them, and even that pang of tiredness that no physical rest can cure. These signs are evidence that your spirit is being prepared for a transition. If at least one of these signs touched you, if your shoulders drop now as you recognize that you are not living this process alone, type in the comments the number 777. It is the number of spiritual confirmation. Type 777 and come back to me, for we need to follow through with what remains to be revealed about your path. Imagine a flame that for a long time was hidden under a thick layer of ashes. The ember still burns, the fire still has life, but the ash accumulated by others' neglect, by past wounds, and by the fear of exposure prevents the light from illuminating what is around. You are that ember, and what you feel as a coldness in the soul is just the ash that needs to be blown away. You have tried to rekindle this flame with your own resources, but you have been burning yourself in the process. You need to understand that restoration comes not from your effort, but from your surrender to what is authentic. If this image of the ember under the ashes clicked in a place you cannot even explain, type the phrase, "I see it." Writing these words seals within you the recognition that your light did not go out. It was just waiting for the right moment to be revealed. I understand the dimension of your humanity. I know the weight of having to be the fortress for everyone, even when your internal structure cries out for a foundation. How many times have you wondered if your sacrifice is seen by anyone? How many times has the silence around you been so deafening that you were afraid to believe there is an outstretched hand to hold you? You carried the world on your shoulders, supported homes, solved problems that were not yours, and at the end of it all, lay down with a feeling of invisibility. But I am telling you that you were never truly abandoned. What you lived through was a refining. Every tear shed in the dead of the day was a seed planted in fertile soil, and the fruit of that harvest is ripe now. If you feel that something tried to bring you down, that others' intentions tried to dull your shine or block your prosperity, declare it now. Type in the comments, "Nothing can touch me." It is not just a phrase. It is a decree of protection that cuts off any line of negative influence over your path. Type it and come back to me. Now I need to call you by your name. Do not do it like one filling out a cold form, but like one who stands before eternity, assuming your identity as a child who is finally recognized. Put your name here, for by writing it, you are saying that you are ready to be seen and called to a new purpose. As you write, think of someone who came to your mind now. Think of that face that appeared when I spoke about silent effort, that person you know who also feels exhausted, who also maintains a firm posture but has a look of someone losing strength. That person needs this message as much as you. Do not keep what you have just received to yourself. Share, deliver this word like one delivers a light in the midst of a storm. Your gesture of sharing is the path through which healing reaches those you love. And if something in this conversation confirmed what your spirit already knew, let your light be your amen without words, your silent commitment to the truth that was spoken. Stop everything you are doing at this very moment. Do not keep scrolling, for this is not a chance encounter, but a call that crosses time and circumstances to find you where you are. There is something that needs to be revealed before the day advances, a message that was saved for you, and your attention now is the key to open that door. You did not come here by coincidence, and if your heart raced upon hearing these words, it is because the Higher prepared this moment to give you back the direction you thought you had lost. There is a cycle, a tiredness you carry, an insomnia that visits you in the early morning hours, or that invisible weight on your shoulders that no one else sees. Know that all these are signs that you are being called to something much greater. It is the number of spiritual confirmation, the seal that you're on the right path. I see that you have been trying to find answers in places that offer only emptiness, as if trying to harvest fruit from dry branches. You feel like an ember hidden under thick layers of ash, suffocated by expectations that were never yours and by the weight of wounds you have carried for years. The fire still has life, but the ash accumulated by others' neglect, by past wounds, and by the fear of exposure prevents the light from illuminating what is around. Type and come back to me. The path that opens before you now is no longer made of uncertainties or twisting roads that lead nowhere. What you felt as a limit, as a door that seemed about to close forever, was in fact the necessary adjustment for you to stop seeking where there is no harvest and begin to look within, where abundance has always been waiting for your command. You were not forgotten. You were reserved. The tiredness you still feel in your shoulders is only the weight of the armor you no longer need to carry. For from now on, what was a burden becomes a foundation. Every frustrated attempt of yesterday served to make you understand what does not belong to your destiny. Do not lament what is left behind, for what is coming is proportional to your ability to believe in renewal. Feel, in this moment, how your breathing becomes lighter and how confusion gives way to a clarity you have not possessed in 10, 20, or 30 years. This is the result of your positioning, of your yes to what is true. The time of waiting for human permission to be who you were born to be is over. You are covered, you are guarded, you are being led by the invisible hand that never let go of yours. Right now, all over the world, thousands of souls like yours are being awakened, forming a current of light that does not need words to be felt, only hearts willing to recognize their own greatness. What you heard today is not advice. It is a call that crosses time and finds a home in your spirit. You are no longer alone. The path is before you. Attention!
Do you feel like you're carrying an invisible weight? Your mind tired, your heart tight, anxious about tomorrow? That anguish, that fear of the future, the isolation. It seems like you're alone in this struggle, without hope. But deep down, you long for peace, for a new way of living, lighter and with unshakable faith. That's why I present The Path to Inner Peace, your daily guide to finding calm, faith, and courage. It's a 30-day journey, a daily devotional for a lighter, more confident, and purposeful life. And this transformation is already a reality for hundreds, as you see. Your story begins now. Secure your access now. Click the first pinned link in the comments.